Well, welcome to Sunday live chat Unscripted, and leo hatutaki waste time. Today ndani ya live tuko na a different guest mwenye hatujakuwa na yeye for quite a while but amekuwa kwa chat. So karibu sana, jiintroduce, utuambie wewe ni nani na umetoka wapi.
Hello guys. Thank you so much, Kamau.
Yes.
My name is Justin Maroro. You can as well call me Right. I'm from Mombasa. Actually, I'm from Mombasa, but today I'm in Nairobi.
Yep. Sawa. Karibu sana Mr. Right. Karibu sana Nairobi. Weather ya huku Nairobi nakupelekaje?
For real, right now actually I'm in a sweater and a jacket on top of it. It's so cold,
hivyo ndio tunakuaga huku Nairobi, baridi ilishatukalia.
Okay. Nishazoea. Actually it's my day one here. I'll be here paka kesho.
Nice. Karibu sana and hope we will have a good stay. Sasa leo
Yes.
Let's just get right into it. Leo tunataka kuongelea the X factor, stories are Exes, our experiences as men with these daughters of Jezebel. Because at the end of the day, kuna this thing that when a relationship happens, sana inakuwaga it's like the man's fault. Hii ni fault ya huyu jamaa ndio alifanya hivi, huyu jamaa ndio alifanya. Even wakati, if you even go to your friends and say, hey, especially your lady friends, you go and say, hey, niliachana na fulani. The first thing they ask is, ulidu? As if all madem hakuna kitu wanatufanyaga sika wanaume.
Yep.
So, I just want to leave it open to you and uambie something about stories are Exes and probably some of your experiences zile zenye uko comfortable kushare, and then we take it up from there. Yes, iko sawa. The floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you so much Kamau again. Now I'll answer kidogo tu narudi back last week. We had this kind of a conversation like somebody raised an issue akisema like once you're done with your ex, it should be like over. You block these people and forget about them. But I think in real sense huwa tunajidanganya sana. Okay, my personal opinion ni kwamba like an ex at times si atimanisha like okay, once relationship ishaisha, okay, we're not supposed to be like going back to our exes like for like to revive ile relationship unless again maybe hujakuwa ukidate na hajakuwa kidate and you guys have felt like you can come back together. But again, kama you're married after maybe dating several people, I think the best thing you can do, you can always have your ex as your best friend, not anything intimate or involved or something, so that at least you guys had a thing in the past. It was the romantic relationship, but now imekuwa ni friendship, and this friendship, I believe to some extent it can somehow build you, because sincerely speaking, an ex for me, I feel it's like ni kama fundi. Najua fundi amejenga nyumba. A fundi can build a house, a nice house, but they'll never live in that house. So you'll be living in that house where mwenye labda you came afterward, and you'll be enjoying the ambience of that house. You forgetting that when somebody, a neighbor, a friend will come akuulize like unaishi kwa nyumba smart sana, sema hey, nilijenga hii, forgetting that there's a fundi who made that house. So our ex, most of the time are architectures of our lives, our current lives. And again, for you in a relationship, you couldn't have been a good person to whom you are today. Why not for your ex? Yeah, there are things that there are things that you learned from your ex that are the ones that made you now manage the current relationship that you are in. Whereby ule ex kwanza maanze kusema ukweli, ex watu wamtumianga kama kitamba, atumike, alafu akiachiliwa unatafuta ule mzuri, sasa unakaa na yeye, unazaa na yeye watoto, then you live a life. So and then me I would wish to caution now bibi zetu, sorry see deep, to caution like whenever you're seeing, okay, for as long as pia kama okay, let me talk for me on side ya men, if you're a man,
Yes.
And me, I believe a man can be. It's easy for a man to be a very good friend to ex-work, and they do nothing.
Yes.
Before the same experiences zangu. So me, I believe kama mwanamke a wife, you should always at some point respect ule ex. Unafaa mwambie like hata ukimmeet kama unasema kama umepata privilege ya kumjua, unafaa mwambie thank you for making my husband to whom he is today. Alafu pia mbaba, you know that your wife of course, si ati kuna wengine tulipata mabibi zetu labda okay walikuwa pia, you know, they went through a series of events to
Maroro umepotea. Audio imepotea. Network ni kama inapotea.
Sorry. Because actually I'm on my phone.
Umerudi sasa.
Somebody was trying to call up. 10 minutes here.
Sasa malizana hiyo mtu mwenye anapiga alafu you come back. Are you back? So in essence kitu Maroro anasema is men and women can be good friends with their ex, or men can be good friends with their exes and nothing happens, and in fact he's going ahead kusema that wewe kama dem unafaa kuthank ex wa huyu Charlie, na huyu Charlie anafaa kuthank ex wa dem yake wakimit. Is that the correct position, Mr. Right?
Yeah, correct. But again, I'm not trying to justify that way. Okay, kuna wale wenyewe labda kuna other people, there are weak souls here who can't be a friend to their exes. Watataka kukumbushana. But it takes discipline. Once you're done with somebody and msha agree like, oh my friend, let's move on. It has to be at that. But it doesn't mean that once umemalizana na your ex that you cut off completely. You can as well keep on, because you never know when they'll come along. Actually, and again, I believe an ex can help you more than. Nitoe example. Hi.
Yeah, to example.
Yes. This one is bad. Lakini there's a time here I was down financially, and you know who came through. I actually have my friend, a very good friend of mine, to whom actually here and tunaokoleananga, but I was down, and he didn't have cash, so I had to go back to the ex. Well, you know, when you get somebody ambaye akona akili timamu, people who believe that you at some point had a great impact in their lives, they'll always cherish you. So one day, one of my exes sorted me big time, such that it sorted both me and my wife. So basi tena niambia wife wangu aje, hii manze nimesortiwa na ule nini, nikamwambia nimesortiwa na best yangu. You see?
Kwa nini ukumwambia umesortiwa na ex wako?
Ayo, my friend, that's not a fight, and I would wish not to start. That's not a fight I can't wish to start.
Are you seeing where we are having, or people might have a problem? Is if you actually believe,
yes,
that ex ni mtu wa muhimu sana kwa maisha yako, and that ex anaweza kusaidia sana kushinda bibi yako, because that's what you are saying in so many words.
No, I'm saying anaweza kusaidia kuliko bibi yako, because now the current one anaweza kusaidia
sexually. Yes. Umesema anaweza kusaidia kuliko nani? Because if you are talking about ex, you are talking about ex versus current. So when you say anaweza kusaidia zaidi ya, you have to talk about zaidi ya nani, because that's something you had said, but hujamalizia. Abu malizia anaweza kusaidia zaidi ya nani?
No, financially, no. Sometimes, you know, it doesn't. It won't go that other direction. Or you know, the problem again is now it's good to share with our spouses experiences kama hizo, but again, as a man, okay, you're not afraid sharing, but you're afraid of the reaction of that particular woman, ama wife, towards that information about ampatia. Unaweza kama like mwambia like yeah, I got assistance from my ex. Atakwambia hata chakula umenunulia pesa but I won't eat because it just came from your ex. But no, you see that's a bad reaction that you wouldn't wish to experience.
Okay, now flip. Now assume that you are not the one who
Yes.
was helped by your ex. Now assume you are the
Yes.
one who needed some money and you went to your wife. Your wife huwa anakuokolea, right?
Yes.
And sometimes anakuambia okay, hii do nilikopa beshte yangu, right?
Yes.
Tuseme ulikuwa unataka something like 500k, ulikuwa unataka kununua gari.
Yes.
Right? Because you wanted to do job, for example, ya Uber ama ya taxi or whatever, ulikuwa una need gari, you needed some money, wewe ulikuwa na 100k, ulikuwa short ya 400k. Then you go to the wife unamwambia, hey, ni aje? Mimi najua uko kwa sako, uko kwa chama nini because you know when a wife yako you play with big money. Like kwake like half an MC issue, you know, you can go umlilie anakusort, wewe saa zingine pia unamsort, but now you go and tell her ni aje nimebakisha tu like 400k unisort, by the time mwaka inaisha nitakuwa nimekulipa, hii ni loan. Then she tells you sawa, let me just go check my mashimo zangu and then nikipata nitakushtua. And then she goes anatafuta sako, anakuja na kwambia kwa sako sahi kuna watu wengi wako na loan, I can't take a loan. Anaenda kwa mabicha na kwambia mabichi zangu zote sahi wako flat, but let me check somewhere without telling you where. Then she comes with 400k na kujenga, you go buy a car.
Yes.
Alafu wakati unakuja kumlipa na kusho hii do actually hata sikuwa loan, nilipewa tu. So the question is nani alikupea? Then akwambia bado unaona ule ex wangu yenda alinipea hii do. How would you respond to that?
Technical.
Si loan.
Yes.
Amepo 400k cash akamchukua enda usort issue zako. Amekwambia ni ex wangu alinipea. How do you deal with that now?
Yeah, okay, now let me rudi nyuma kidogo. Now,
yes.
It again will depend.
Yes.
That's why I said sometimes the reaction to the truth can vary.
That's when nimesema like usitoke nje ya everything else is constant.
Yes.
Usiende nje ya hii story na kupea. Hii ni ile tu story nimekupea. Like you don't know any other detail. That is what she has told you. Already ashakwambia kwa sako hakuna do. Already ashakwambia kwa mabeshte zangu nimetafuta sijapata do. And then anakwambia let me just take somewhere. And then she goes, she brings money. Okay?
Yes.
You were so excited you didn't ask questions. You went, you bought the car. And then afu saa hii imekaa mimi na kwa ulikuwa umejipanga maybe hii 400k nitakuwa nalipa something like 20 Gs every month.
Yes.
So the first month you come with 20 Gs unapea wife anakuambia by the way hiyo do hata ikuwa loan nilipewa tu. And then now unakuwa surprised like okay, who gives 400k just like that? And now you ask do kwani nani alikupea? Anakuambia ni yule ex wangu alinipea hiyo do. So like you don't know any other information, that's the information you have.
Okay, that one is that one actually hit me back, but no, Kamau.
Yes.
Sincerely speaking, there is no wife with her full senses.
Yeah.
I believe a man can tell, ex wangu aliniokolea. There's no woman in her full senses, that's my belief, who can come clearly like akwambie I got this help from my ex.
Yes. So to assume you one of those people who can. To assume you those people who can. Now Shida, you are not answering the question. And this is unscripted. This is uncensored. Now, you see, you are trying to weasel yourself out of the question, the answer. And the answer is very simple. You won't feel good.
Listen.
Haijalishi alifanya nini ama what relationship they have. As a man, you will not feel okay. As in, labda hata alipewa tu. Labda hata hakuna kitu alidu. But now the question will be, something that will be in your head will be, ni nini hii yenye imefanya huyu ex akapatia huyu bibi yangu ama huyu demu yangu this much money and not expect any payment? That will be the question in your head, and that question itakusumbua for so long if
Of
you are
course
honest.
itakusumbua. Of course, Kamau.
Yes.
That situation will affect you somehow. But
Yes.
now it goes back to that wife of yours. It depends on whatever kind of relationship they still have with that guy. You can still have a friendly relationship with your ex guy. Me, I won't have a
That's not
problem.
an
For as long as
sikatai.
listen,
Sikatai.
for as long as listen, eh? For me, Kamau, for me, I won't have a
Yes.
problem. I'll accept it because the same way I get favors from my ex, and to whom we are just very good friends. We just help each other. Bora too, there's nothing else other than just helping a friend, maybe because they helped maybe in the past.
So now another question.
Yes.
You know there is nothing going on between your ex and your wife. And then
Yes.
your wife comes and tells you, no, her ex and the wife.
Yes, yes.
And then the wife comes and tells you, Neaji, kuko na house bash, my ex. So me and my friends, we are going over there. Ni birthday bash yake. And then you say, can I tag along? Then she says, akujui. So itakuwa weird because you know you are my husband. So this is just for friends. Na wewe si beshte yake.
Yep.
You're just going there. It will be a house bash. Itaenda up to morning. We are good. Wewe unajua mimi na yeye hakuna kitu inaendeleaga, so you give up permission.
Kamau, hapo I think we are getting out of order. It's not possible. It's not possible.
You see, ile kitu nataka kuleta, the thing that I want to bring is that issue ya ex inakuwaga very tricky, and we cannot just say ati nothing is happening. Not even that. Even if your wife even if your wife knows your ex, even if your wife are friends with your ex, there are things your wife will not allow you to do with your ex, hata kama ni innocent. Why? Because there was something, and there is no way utaniambia that imeisha. That is not how human beings are.
Yes.
That's not how human beings behave. That's not how human beings are wired. Any person who came into your life mwenye mlikuwa so close, such hata ex, hata a very close friend that you fell out, a very close friend, ni different from these friends you have, because that person alikuwa very close. That close friend unaweza sikia amepata accident and maybe mlikosana, ana need blood, and you can even pay flight kuenda kumpea damu because of what you are, not because of what you are, because of what you are. So kuna organize connections which, let's be honest, when we are talking about exes, yes, kuna wale exes tumewachana, it's okay, everybody anaendelea na maisha yake, but then ujue this ex na mimi or this ex na wewe, kuna bado something that is connecting you, and that is a past. There is a past that is connecting you, and that past has a very high chance of messing up your present. As in, you are more likely to sleep with your ex than you are to sleep with a random woman huko nje. Is it true? It is easier to sleep with an ex than with a just dem tu umepata ukakakatia kakaingia box. Do you agree with me?
I disagree.
Why?
I disagree 100%. Listen, Kamau, it takes okay, it depends again with your mentality and what kind of a person you are.
Umesema una disagree. Umesema una disagree. Let's stay there kwa disagreement. Wachana na depend. Tuanze hapo, I disagree because.
I disagree because once it's done between me and my ex, it's done.
So are you saying it is easier for you kutoka hapa nje kwa barabara, you meet a strange woman na convince mu have sex, than it is wewe kupatana na an ex na convince
I think
have sex? Remember number one, ex wako anakujua. So you would have to go introducing yourself. This strange woman, you have to introduce yourself. Then this strange woman, you have to convince her asimame muonge. Ex wako, you don't have to convince her asimame muonge. You see, it is
Yes.
easier. When I say it is easier, I don't mean it is easier like for her to just give you. I mean it is easier depending on how many barriers they are between you and sex. Between an ex, the barrier is her and you. Barrier
Yes.
when I would strange is you are a stranger. I don't talk to strangers. You might even try to talk to her. She even starts screaming. But utaenda kusalimia ex wako anza kupiga nduru. So that's where I'm
why
coming from. When I say it is
yes.
easier, I am saying you have less things to do. So the only thing you are left to do is just to convince her to have sex with you. The same way you will still need to convince this strange woman to have sex. So already is convincing, you already iko kwa plan. But now for the ex, anakujua, mmekuwa na history, you have probably even had sex. So she even knows how good you are in bed. So it is
Yes.
she has history with you. So you convincing her to sleep with you depends on where your principles and her principles. But then
Yes.
this strange woman, you don't know her principles, but you still have to deal with her principles. Unaget? But now you still have to get to know her name. You still have to convince her to stand and talk to you. You still have to convince her to come to your house. Unaona, you have more barriers to jump through with a stranger than with an ex. Ex unaweza kutana naye kwa barabara umwambie, ni aje, unaenda, swingi hapa tukunywe nini kahawa haraka. Niko na come tukunywe kahawa, and she will come to your house.
Yes.
So now, are you still telling me that it is easier to convince this strange woman to come to have coffee in your house than it is to convince an ex to come to your house to have coffee?
Kamau, let's not assume that whenever you're meeting your ex, it's actually meeting for a sex. That's
I'm not saying. Shida yako Maroro is you are afraid of facing. I'm not saying that exes and have just meet and have sex. That's what I'm saying. I'm just giving you two scenarios. Now, you as a man, your intention is to have sex with an ex or have sex with a stranger. That is your intention.
Yes.
That is what you are going out to do. So now, on one hand, you have an ex who knows you, and on the other hand, you have a strange woman who does not know you. Your intention is to have sex with either of these two. Are you telling me it is easier to have sex with this stranger than with your ex? Is that what you are telling me?
Exactly. Because personally, I think it's always hard for me personally to go back to my ex, but I can unleash a new vibe to a random woman I met on the maybe in the streets, and perhaps a strike.
Na hiyo random vibe huwezi unleashia ex wako yenye hajaisikia.
No, the problem is the ex vile umesema, like she knows you, she knows your strengths and your weaknesses, so it's easy for her to either accept to go with you or not. Again, kama you never gave her a good experience, I believe as a smart woman will never get back to you. Alafu then again mimi nasema hivi, kama we don't have to go back bashing your ex just because ako available. Listen, once it's done, me believe, not really like the way you said, like it's done, your intimate relationship is done, you only remain with your friendship.
And what I am saying, yes. And what I am saying is that friendship with an ex is always a tricky affair.
Depending with you.
Ngoja kwanza, I'm just saying friendship with an ex is always a tricky affair. As compared to a friendship with a woman you have never had any intimate relationship with. It is less tricky having a platonic friendship with a woman who you have never had anything, whether emotional or anything, than an ex who you'd experienced that because of that connection. So for you to start these shenanigans with this woman you're just friends with will take a lot of courage and a lot of time than it will take this ex. And remember, these exes, you might be this Jesus, the incarnation of Jesus or whoever who wants memalizana. But that does not mean that your ex also has the same mentality as you. I am sure even right now, there are exes who still pursue you. True or false? Exes who pursue you. Who you know, who you nikicheza na yeye and an mess. An ex who, when she tells you, Niaji, I am just around, can we meet for coffee? You disappear. Not because you it's because you know I can't trust her. I know what she wants. And then there are those exes who, like, when you are with them, you don't even feel anything. Like, uko tu, ako tu, like, you mko kama brother. But then there are those exes who, even wakati mko mahali penye ni in public, nata for example, hata amjamit, like, mko mmepangana, you are just somewhere having coffee, then she happened to show up. And then akakaa kwa meza yako. You probably know that by the time hiyo unataka kumalizia hiyo coffee yako haraka usonge. Because you know the drama that will start, the talk that hizo talks ataanza, you know. So what I'm saying is, you wewe unaweza kwa wewe ni Yesu mtakatifu, mwana wa Mungu, wewe hauna issue. But huyu ex haimaanisha ati huyu ex pia ni wewe, ni kama wewe. So that's why I'm saying, when you are dealing with exes of your spouse, you always assume ni ile type ya kutaka kuharibu. You start assuming, hiyo ndio ile assumption yenye itakufanya kuwe safe. Otherwise, utakuwa unajipata kwa issues, and then people will be asking you, right, ati bibi yako akakwambia alipewa do na fulani. Wewe unajua fulani kweli wewe? It's like, ni ex wa nani? Wewe unamjua kweli wewe? And then now you start wondering, like, kwani huyu ni nani huyu mwenye nashindaga nikia? Because remember, the only thing your wife tells you about her exes are the bad things. The only things you tell your wife about your exes most likely are the bad things. Wezi mwambia ati, ex wangu alikuwa ananipeaga mpaka kwa ceiling. Ex wangu kuna venye alikuwa ananipikia food. You can't tell her those things. So utamwambia tu venye ex wako alikuwa psycho, venye ex wako alikuwa, until now you become friends, and then her friends start telling her, unajua ex wa nani? Mimi namsikiaga tu ndiye ule. Then aone kitu hapo, something that looks like imetoka kwa movie. And then venye huyo dem venye anakuaga na sifa ya ngononomics. So now and then now wewe anajua you are very good friends with her. All hell now starts to break loose, because now she will come and start telling you, kwa hivyo nadindanganyaga about you dem. Then you are like, but mimi nilikwambia ukweli, because honestly hakuna kitu inaendelea. But because hujamwambia the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, lazima kuna kale kaswali kenye huwa kanabaki kwa kichwa, like, mbona huyu ex akapatia bibi yangu hiyo do yote na I expect kulipwa? Which man does that? Ni mwanaume mgani ufanya hivyo? And then also it comes issue ya sasa inaanza kukula your masculinity, your masculine frame. Unaget? Like sasa, if I go work with this car and I bring money to my wife, is it me who is working, or is it the ex she's looking at, yule ni ex wangu ananilisha? Because technically ni ex wake anamlisha, si wewe. Unless now you collect all that 400k urudishe, ama uuze gari urudishe hiyo do. So there are men who will do that. They'll say, mimi, because this thing, sometimes utakosana na bibi, and then utakuja anza kusema, but mimi ununua food, mimi ndio kuprovidea. Akuangalia akuulize, na si hiyo do yenye ile do yenye unatafuta nayo pesa, si mimi ndo nilikupea? In fact hata si pesa yangu, ni pesa ya fulani. So unaniringia na kuninunulia chakula na pesa ya mwanaume mwingine. That one will hit different than bibi kukuuliza, yani wewe unaniringiaga tu pesa unanileteaga. That will hit different from that one. And that is what wanaume wana, even you. Even wewe uwezi, that's what umesema bibi atakata kukula hiyo food. Because ajui nini ulifanya kupata hiyo do. Wewe unajua hakuna kitu ulidu, but bibi yako hakukuwa hapo.
Correct.
And I also believe mambo ya exes wanafaa kuwekwa. Sisemi ati watu wakosane na ex. Of course kuna hiyo time ya kukosana. Hiyo time yenye mlikosana before you heal. Lazima ujipe space. Mpaka uheal, move on. Like uheal. Juu kuna wale watu wenye utoka tu kwa dem wanaingia kwa dem mwingine. So nothing has healed. You still have machunge ule dem. In fact, musema, and I think I said it last time, until you unafika point ya indifference, like you don't care. Unajua hate is just the other side of love. So kama bado una hate ex, that means bado kuna feelings. Until you fike indifferent mahali, Like you can mnaweza meet naye kwa street and say mambo and you just go like you even forget. So Veronica nauliza swali, what about besties of opposite sex? What is your nini? Sasa huyu hata si ex, huyu tu ni chali tu fulani mwenye wife yako anasemaga ni bestie wake, ati acha tu nipigie bestie. Unaweza bestie ni nani? Ni Fred. So namkuta usiku ameamka, maybe she had a nightmare, she's texting the bestie. Imagine aki had this nightmare. So tuongele story ya besties. Unless uko na tunataka kumalizia opposite ya ex, then we get into this other one. Right, ama labda unapigiwa simu. mimi number one, mimi yeah, karibu. Right, welcome back.
Yeah, sawa. Now let me finish up na hii. Naona like Kamau,
Yes.
you know, with our exes, there's something we built,
Yes.
of which we can never even forget. Sawa.
Yes.
So what
Yes.
we do is only drawing a line. Like now it's in the past. Now let's now start. Okay, because I've started a new one. Let me now put it in the past. But the relationship can still remain based on friendship, purely friendship. Ile kama kibradhe, unaelewa? Unafika hapa point, by that you can even get to a point like mnakuwa tu mabradhe tu kabisa. You can even be in the same room, same bed, but don't do anything. Even right now, I believe in their relationships, marriages, ambazo ziko na the brother nini status. Mtu na wife wake ni brother na sis. True or false?
Hivyo ndio kuna kuaga.
Just sababu ya nini? Now the problem now trickles down to communication.
Yes.
If you guys can't have a nice communication channel, automatically you'll always be bringing up issues. Like for me, my wife,
yes,
anajua ex wangu karibia wote.
Yes.
Because I learned to train her, like to know them and to accept that they were there.
Yes.
To assume like mimi nilitokanga tu kwa dunia. Na today, for me providing the way I provide nicely, the way I do my things nicely, I was taught by somebody. So once you get create a nice channel of communication, then you'll be having very nice relationship whereby one of you speaks and the other listens, and the other one listens, and the other one speaks and the other one listens, like changeably. So the problem inakwanga ni inafika paka point yenye you are my wife. Yeah. Now I have an issue I need to tell you. Maybe nimetoka job, niko na issue imeni stress, bala nifike kwa nyumba hivi manzi unakuja umenirukia, umeniendea maizile issue zako za jana. Yes, instead of like getting to know like say nini la amekuja aje ameboeka hivi, ama like maybe I can come home happy, but I'm not happy because everything was good out there. I come happy because everything was bad out there, but I want to show my family that things are okay.
Yes.
You understand? So ukifika pale kwa nyumba, now you get a lion. Umeepa pale nje kulikuwa na fisi, umekutana na simba kwa nyumba. So the only thing you'll think of as a man now, I'm talking as a man now. The only thing you'll think of is now you start now comparing. Huyu mbibi wangu huyu na ule mu ex who treated me nicely at this kind of a situation. In such a situation came, who treated me nicely. So unaona like ule ex wakati uko na mashida anakuwa anakuuliza like mazi anakusaidia na mawazo somehow, even if they cannot help you out, but they can give you a listening ear. So that's where now like maybe the wives now fail and the exes win. Sababu ex maybe anajua communicate na wewe, and then they give you a listening ear. At times they can even give you a shoulder to cry on, because you cannot cry kwa ule wife wako mwenye labda ni simba kwa nyumba. You understand? So again, it comes to a point like now we have speakers as wives in the house. Ukiongea kitu kidogo usharushiwa neno. When you say something, ushabashiwa. So again, since now you've matured, you know that time when you're fighting with your exes, nini, it will a point to take a wife, mature to a point that no fighting anymore. So you sit back, akirusha matantrums and stuff, you just relax.
Yes.
So akiona wewe umenyamaza, since amerusha maneno umenyamaza, they think like kumbe ni overpower, forgetting that it's you who has grown over the years and you've been shaped by so many relationships that failed in the past. for
Yes.
you to have this particular one that is almost successful. That's not
Yes.
successful anyway. Almost, because even others die after 20 years in marriage.
Yes.
So, for me, I believe, personally, I have very, very nice and willing exes who can assist me at any given time, but not sexually, whenever there is an issue. Hata kama like I'm financially down, I'm like I'm out of ideas, they can always channel in ideas. But it doesn't mean that naenda nikufe na ex. So
So do you know
for me,
your wife do you know ex wote wa wife yako?
mimi
Mm.
wife, kuna mabibi wanaambiaga mabwana zao ma ex wao.
So
Wewe
what was
kama
the point of you? Ngoja kwanza. What was the point of you telling your wife all your exes?
I was cleaning my record. Because listen,
Why did you feel the need to do that?
I felt okay. Hey, very nice question, Kamau. Do you know why? Because
Yes.
I love my wife, and I know like any other relationship that I've had in the past is now all gone. Apart from maybe labda afike mahali aanze kunipeleka mbio zingine zenye nikifunga break inawaka moto huko nyuma. I'll seek a place to I'll seek ya kulean. But I'm not expecting anything of that kind soon. So me, I respected that, and I wanted there's something called transparency. No, like, yes, I would wish, the way I said in the beginning, I would wish to tell my wife that I got this assistance from my ex, but now, you see, now the problem is, like, how is she going to receive that information? The reception itakuwa aje? Sasa hiyo ndio mtu unaogopa, but you'd wish to tell her, like, nimesaidiwa na this kind of a person. Hata unge wish akwambie amesaidiwa na mtu fulani, but now the way you will receive that information will be now the problem.
Yeah, well, you see, and why I'm asking this question of if you know your exes is your wife's exes is if you were being transparent and you believe in that kind of transparency, wouldn't you expect the same from your wife to say, okay, mimi nimekwambia ex wangu wote ambao ni 20, now I know, okay, you tell me all your exes even if they are 100.
My friend, mimi mpaka wa leo nimejaribu kuuliza, hata nauliza, I even ask in a very good, in a light tone, hasa nani ule mzuri, hasa like I'm never told, but nasema like it's always okay, it's obvious. Most women don't like disclosing such kind of issues. Uje kama today, like today Kamau can maybe Kamau today you are dating your neighbor ama a girl somewhere, uje kama anauza anatoka na ni aje maroro kale kadem mazee kanwa ka file on dem wangu, you can tell me that you're dating somebody, but a lady cannot tell any other person that ana date mtu mwingine, you know that. So women know how to confine information, like also information based on relationship. Hata saizi nakwambia Kamau, your wife can, so as an example, your wife can get pregnant for another man,
yes,
and still ukishazaa nakwambia anafanana na babako huyu kama mwana macho
kwanza me I know, when you have a child with a woman who is your wife or whoever, and then they go the extra mile of trying to convince you how this child looks like you, already that's a red flag. Unajua mtoto si wako, because why would you go the extra mile to try to convince me how this child looks like me if you already know it is already my kid? Whether anafanana na mimi ama hafanani na mimi, you know it's my kid. So hakuna convincing, but hiyo time yenye, and it's not even them, because they will tell their friends. Their friends know baba ya mtoto, and those will be the friends who, when they come for that to see the kid, they start looking at the ears. Ona masikio yake inakaa kama baba yake, ona macho yake. Those are red flags. Hapo ni DNA test haraka haraka. But those who just come and like wanakuja wanaona mtoto, they congratulate you guys and then they leave. Wewe unakaga ukijua this kid, because hakuna kama mtu uzaliwa akiwa msupa. In fact hakuna mtoto ufanana na mtu wakati ako like a month old. Watoto wote wa 1 month is like ufanana. So how are you convincing me that this child looks like me? How did you know? I mean, wewe ni nani? Huyu mtoto just looks like mtu wa neighbor wa 1 month, na mtoi wa Maroro wa 1 month na mtoi wa Vero wa 1 month wanafanana. They look almost the same. How are you convincing me huyu mtoto wa 2 days that anafanana na mimi? Macho hata hazijafunguka vizuri. So Maroro, tuingie kwa kesi ya X, historia ya besties wa opposite sex. Vero mnasema some extent I support Maroro. Kuna ex who come through sana in some instances so long as heshima inadumu ya current relationship. Mimi sina maneno. So Maroro, haki Maroro na hizi masimu. Hiyo ndio shida ya watu wa phonomics. Bestie wa opposite sex. That now bibi wakati yako na issue before ujue bestie anajua. You know Fred,
Yes.
my bestie. You know Fred, my bestie told me. You know I was stuck pale hivi and I didn't have fare. Imagine Fred came through. That's what bibi yako anakupigia story. Bestie wake anaitwa Fred. So yeye ndio huwa ana come through. Like before she does anything, she has to pass it through bestie. Even when you are going like for holiday, like sasa umepanga tunaenda holiday nini? No, you know what? I talked to Fred. Imagine he was in Naivasha last week and this is the hotel he stayed in. How would you feel as the husband?
Now, I don't see a reason to raise eyebrows there, because again, I've believed for a very long time I've believed that it's easy for a man and a woman to be very good friends and not have anything fishy going on in between them.
Yes.
So kuna venye okay, kidogo hata mimi sometimes sitaki niseme inaniumanga roho, lakini inaumanga kidogo, because I know my wife has friends, male friends, to whom they talk and they talk for a very long time. Inafika point kumwambia wewe umeongea na mbaba wako for a very long time.
Huyu ni bestie. And
yes?
Women tell their bestie everything.
It's easy to share. Unajua now ni hivi, my friend. Many a times kuna there are women whom feel at ease wakiwa na male friends than female friends, because they can understand each other easy than mwanamke. Maybe mwanamke atamwambia mwenzake kitu and the lady will tell another lady and itakuwa tena si siri anymore, you know. So I believe rarely Kamau,
yes,
will maybe let me take an example of maybe your female friend, maybe Vero or something.
Yes.
Rarely will Vero tell you something so personal you will share it with another person. Rarely. And I don't know, okay, actually you can never even share. Like if maybe Vero shared with another lady friend of hers, mwanamke atafika mahali aona story anasema Vero aliniambia, you know, those things happen. Yeah. So I don't think there's a very big deal a man, okay, your wife being a friend, having a bestie with a man. But pia bado nimesema hivi, we still have to draw a line, and it's not just any line, a red line. You know, like inaonyesha like this, there are territories that you shouldn't step.
Which ones?
It takes only discipline. Listen, of course, it's clear that kuna territories hufai kufika Kamau. Like today.
No, I'm just asking you specifically which ones, and let's just take sex out of it. This is not an FWB. This is just a bestie, so they are not going to have sex. So to make a sex scandal, they won't have sex. Now tell me which other line are we drawing?
For me, sex actually may rule out, because me, I believe a woman should not be dating an ex, and a woman should not be having another man if they are married or they are in a relationship. So I think like maybe, you know, you cannot have like your wife kiss a friend, you know, like holding like intimately. There's those suggestive. There are some kind of suggestive situations that we tolerate. Other like a situation that even a passerby, a kiona, I feel like no, this is not appropriate. You understand?
And that's what I'm saying, let's remove everything sexual or anything that
Yes.
could be taken to be sexual. To yote
Yes.
kando, these are just besties. They are not holding hands, they are not hugging for so long, like nothing sexual is happening or anything to suggest anything sexual. So what other lines are we drawing?
Line.
Lines.
Ati leo wife wako aenda kulala na besti wake, hiyo tunakataa. Hata kama ni kibeste. So those are the kind of things that we could not tolerate. Again, like pia like maybe some sort of chat. Kuna chat zingine
So
ziko.
So
Yes?
would you be comfortable your wife talking about your sexual experience in your marriage to the bestie?
Sasa that's why I said
Like
that we still need to draw a
Maroro,
line.
like Maroro siku hizi
Aongi
anifikishagi
vizuri.
Maroro siku hizi Maroro sijui nini anauliza tu, like she's just inquiring, like just help me, like what could possibly be the problem, because you are a man. Have you ever experienced this? Imagine he doesn't stand, and when he stands he doesn't last. Would you be comfortable your wife having it's not like she's asking him for sex, she's just
Yes.
talking something intimate between the two of them to this guy. Will you be good with that?
No, that one absolutely not. Because I've said again, we have to draw a red line on matters to which that the engagement inaweza enda beyond.
But
So,
besties, they tell besties everything. Women tell besties everything. So ukisikia mtu anaitwa bestie, ukisikia dem akikwambia this is my bestie, if truly ni bestie, hakuna kitu hiyo dem hajui. Hakuna siri huyu dem ako nayo yenye huyu jamaa hajui. So anything, like for example, you can just take this dude's mind and you can get everything about your wife hapo ndani, everything.
that's gross. That's gross. I think pia these kind of chats that besties should have with our spouses should also have limits, and those limits will not be set by me, but the spouse mwenye ako in that relationship na bestie. Because right now I don't know how, but hiyo sijaikubali personally. Maybe I don't know if I'm primitive about it, but now I don't believe like a woman sharing very sensitive information with a man. I'd rather ashare na mwanamke mwenzake, because if you share with your fellow woman that bwana yangu afanyangi ama afikangi vizuri, atataka kujaribu, hebu nione kama ni kweli afikishangi. You understand?
So it benefits you.
Kwanza itakuwa like it's like you're making it for your friend, it's making it easy. So
yeah, because anajua mali uko na upungufu, so those will be, if he is interested in your wife, he will know what are the high points to hit, because anajua okay, Maroro does not listen to the wife, so I will be listening. So Maroro does not do this to the wife, so I will be doing that. So eventually he will be. So that's why when you say that that men and women, like kuna friendship inaweza kwa between men and women na isikue na any hidden agenda, for me I find it very crazy. For me, the way I think about it is I do not trust hii story ya bestie ya Charlie na dem. I just don't. Ijalishi whether it is as honest as Mary Magdalene and Joseph before she got Jesus, I don't care. I just know how men are wired. How men are wired. Men are wired, especially place yenye huyu ni dem mwenye huyu Charlie ajai bang.
Yeah.
You know, when it is an ex, it is like I was there and it wasn't such a nice experience, so I'm not interested in going back. When it is an ex and she was fire, that is something a man will always want to go back, especially kama bibi yake afanyagi those things. So when we are honest, then we know how to build this thing, because if a woman has a male bestie and she's telling this male bestie everything, even if they don't do anything, even if they don't do anything, kuna venye huwa anakudunisha kwa macho za mwanaume mwingine. Afadhali akudunishe kwa macho za mwanamke, kwa sababu wanaume hawapendi kudunishwa mbele ya wanaume wenzao.
Correct.
So when she has a bestie who is a dude and she's telling him, of course atakuwa anampigia stories za how happy she is. Kazi ya bestie kuagi pale kukua pale wakati you are so happy. Inakwaga pale, you know, like you said, a shoulder to cry on.
Correct.
Yende inakwaga kazi kubwa ya bestie when things are going wrong. So when your woman has a male bestie, you know there is a man out there who knows every shortcomings that I have.
Yep.
And also, women have this thing where they have besties, but then they have besties na levels. So she might introduce you to 4 besties, maybe 2 are men, 2 are women, and then kuna levels pia kwa hizo bestie. So kuna that dude who is like bestie wa bestie, my BFF, best friend forever. Mi akizi majina sijui mademo natoaga wapi. My BFF. This is like I love this person. In fact, they even use that language. I love this person. Yani huyu ni mtu mwenye napenda zaidi kwa hii dunia. Alafu anasema, no, don't worry babe. Simpendi vile nakupenda. But you know what she said? Ye ni ule mtu napenda zaidi kwa hii dunia. And then anarudi ana realize shit. Then babe, si vile nakupenda. You know me I love you. Our love is different. Then uko hapo wondering like, okay, huyo ndio anapendwa sana kwa hii dunia. And then mi naambiwa love yangu ni different. Love yangu ni different kiaji. Like, Abu, please explain how you love him the most in this world, but your love for me is different.
Kama
si kama hii yangu na wewe. Yes.
Yes, again, naona hii some of us most of the time when you're in relationship, we tend to blindfold. So
yes,
there's
of course.
a problem.
That's the only way you survive.
Sometimes we always assume that women are not threats to our marriages.
Yes.
Ati wife wako akiwa na best friend who is a woman, we assume like things are wild. Again, there are women. Do you know there's a woman who can steal your wife away from you?
Of course.
What na assume because she's just a woman who ni mwanamke tu. But there are women who will date even your wife and they take them away from you. So, okay, now
but honestly,
again,
Maroro tukiwa hapo, for me, I would rather a woman steals my wife than a man.
Yeah.
For me, I would rather. For me, I would rather. I would rather a woman steals my wife from me than another man. But endelea.
Okay. Haya, utaelewa polepole hapo. So, many a times unapata like there are these women who will introduce you the besties now.
Yes.
They will introduce your wife to homosexuality. Now this is what will happen.
Yes.
Since it is a bestie, utaona tu ni mtu normal, but atakuwa ame-brainwash your wife to a point that now there is a difference between, you know, Kamau, if maybe let me not use the example your wife, like a girlfriend.
Just go ahead. Hakuna mtu anabeba feelings hapa. Whoever ataumia. Just use me ndio niko hapa.
So most of the time, if a man can take your woman, and still not outdo you. You know that? But a woman can take your wife and outdo you to a point that unaona fikanga mazee anakwambia mazee ufiki, lakini my friend Wanjiro, my friend somebody that's better than you. Na yeye atafanya any penetration or something. You understand?
Yes.
So at times it's very risky. Women can tell. Just maybe wataogopa kuongea about this thing. But women can really hit other women hard than a man. So
of course, wanajua where to touch.
They know exactly where to touch. They know where to tune. So many times to assume that we're only afraid of men being friends with our wives. The other way, bana. So again,
I do agree. I do agree with you, Pakapo. But then you know this woman will not make your wife pregnant.
Lakini vile unamfanyia utashindwa kumfikisha huko, my friend.
when I'm looking at it naiangalia in terms ya hivi, if bibi wako ni wa kuenda okay, you see akienda na mwanaume mwingine, wewe kama mwanaume unabaki na a lot of questions because of course she went to a better man, so yeye amenishindia nini? But if she went with a woman, of course you understand it is sexual because wewe alafu pia you know also as men tunakuwa distant emotionally. Okay, so for this woman you understand that imagine another man did not outdo me, I just got outdone by a woman because a woman would be more emotionally present, a woman knows what to touch and what to do, and also of course usiseme ati hawana tools, si wanatumia hizi za stima, wewe huwezi compete na nini ya stima. So as a man wewe uko na place za kusema me I can't compete na ile because ile iko world tofauti, because if they are using these tools, kuna ile ya battery, kuna ile ya stima, me I can't outdo it. If kuna emotional availability, this woman is more emotionally available to my wife than me, so I understand. But if she's taken by a man, then you sit there and you start wondering, is it that he has a bigger junk? What is this thing? Because that's where we go. First of all, does he have more money than me? Upate labda ni ule njoro wa makaa, so it's not like he has more money than you. But then the other question would most probably be, then he must be more endowed than me. Alafu hakuna mwanaume mwenye utaka kujua he has a small manhood.
Mmoja ako na container ya 40 feet, ingine ni ya 20 feet. Now so now this, okay, again that I'm talking about blindfolds, as much as fear we are talking. So again fear in relations to the like, okay, let me go back in relation to our ex kidogo after nimalizie kuia no, hata malizie ya friendship kwanza. Now again generally mpaka wa leo I'm always wondering nini way na happen. No, for me I used to have I have both male and female friends, and both male and female friends before I got married. Actually, grown a frequency. The frequency of them coming into my house ulikuwa tu sana. Right now, kama you're married, ndio pia mabeshte wanakanyaganga mbali kidogo. Even if they come visit you once after a very long time. So I used to have friends female friends, male friends walking into my house. Others sleep over, paka kesho wanaenda zao. So my neighbors were like, anytime a woman comes, hata kuja kae kama 20 minutes, 1 hour, maybe I spend a day pale tumekula, arudi ende zake, they'll say this guy has lazima amenyorosha hiyo. You see? So I thought, I was even asking myself, yes, when you're seeing a man and a woman, it's normal. It's good to see a man and a woman together, because it's biological that a man and a woman should have an engagement. So when my male friends used to come to my house and sleep over even 2 days a week and plus, I had nobody say anything. Mimi, I could be afraid when I see a man being visited by another man, wanaishi nyumba moja, tena nyumba yenyewe ni single room. You see now, okay, now that's when you should be raising eyebrows. Unasema like, believe, how kama hawa say see the other way, these guys are not straight. You understand? So we assume that whenever you're with a woman, you're always, let me use your word, come out fornicating.
Of course.
So no, that's an assumption. It's a bad assumption. You can always be a friend to the best thing. You can always be a friend to a female and a male, respectively. So lastly, let me get you back. Very positive. Now let me take you back to step moja niliruka pale kwa my ex. You know when you know there is wakati once you married, mabibi wetu wanakuja wanakuwa wamama. They stop being those lovely girlfriends they used to be. I had this one actually in the past near session. You stop being that sweet person you used to be. Leo umekuwa tu mama ama umekuwa baba. There are those moments you want to enjoy. No, so you pretend that now wewe hizo vitu ulikuwa unafanyanga ni za utoto sasa umeingia umamani, ubabani, so you cannot do them again. That's why, sorry, hii imerudisha nyuma kidogo because we
Haina shida.
unscripted. That's why you see now somebody will opt to go to that ex to whom they are used to doing those the Tai Chi style, the
Yes.
Kung Fu Shaolin soccer style.
Yes.
You see, so hapo pia if our spouses could always understand that could learn to keep the fire burning, then hizo ndio kuongelea ma ex huku hivi atukuogopa ex. Utakuwa na tu ex kama tu beshta anapitaga tu barabarani and you won't have anything to fear. But if you're serving nice food, probably nicer than what your ex used to serve, you shouldn't be afraid. Yes, I rest my case.
Yeah, I get that, and
Yes.
but then when we are talking about exes pose a bigger threat to our current relationship than any other person out there. That is a fact we need to agree on, because it also takes a lot of
Energy.
fortitude. Let me use fortitude. Yani ukae ugumu fulani, which is more than generally ugumu una need to keep other women, because women are not throwing themselves at men out here.
Yes.
But an ex would find like it is easier for your ex to trick you into sex than just some random woman huko nje. Because like for me I'm very afraid of women huko nje, like strange women. If you are overly friendly, I start wondering, ni mchele unataka kuniwekea? Are you trying to kidnap me so that they can take my kidney? Like I am even men, like if you are a stranger and you're overly friendly to me, I am super scared of you. Me, I think Nairobi imenifunza, like watu wa michele, the things that women are doing to men out here, hiyo mi wasi entertain. But if it is an ex, already mko na level ya trust. And so anything you want to add to Kifunga, because now tumeshapitishana a minute.
Now generally personally kwanza nimeona wewe kama like you can't even trust yourself before your ex, so what you as an advice perhaps we need to strengthen our shop such that tunajua zile limits, unajua like how far I shouldn't go, like hata ikistretch sana you try to control it. You can try to find ways on how you can evade that, but I'm not saying that pia mimi I don't know, mimi ni kiumbe dhaifu. I don't know, maybe I might fall for it. Now if I fall for it, I'm sorry, ni bahati mbaya, lakini all in all, let's try to maintain our relationships with the people we've had in the past. We don't burn bridges, because we might need those bridges back when you're coming back. So yes, let's have a nice relationship with our friends, our family members, our spouses, and everybody, actually our neighbors. Tena watu na assuming like relationships tu ni za watu wanapendana tu kimapenzi peke yake. Even the way you relate with your neighbor next door, there's another relationship that you can always keep. It's an next sphere. You see, hata kama like, sorry, time inaenda, like, have you ever met somebody mlikuwa naye like 20 years ago? How does that feel? It feels so nice, right? But what if you guys left, mliachananga na ile yani vita ingine mbaya sana? You won't even wish to see each other. So let's try, in a nutshell, let's try to maintain a good relationship between us as far as humanity is concerned. Tupendane na pia zile shida zinatokea kwa ndoa tusameheane jamani.
So thank you very much. It has been a pleasure. It's always a pleasure when I engage with people, because now I get to learn different perspectives. And also I apologize for the pushback, because at the end of the day we need to have these honest experiences. And also sometimes we might think we believe in something until somebody poses another question, and then you realize like sikuwa nimefikiria hiyo angle. So kwa hiyo angle, like nothing is set in stone. If I'm not having good relationships with my ex, imaanishi ati hiyo bad relationship itaendelea forever. Something might change pale mbele. And probably there is a reason why I'm not having that good relationship with my ex. If I'm having good relationship with my ex, it does not mean that they are sexual relationships. It might mean that tushakwa over each other and now we are grown. Probably all of us are married now. Nobody wants the other. So now hata hiyo sasa I don't okay. I don't consider her as an ex. I just remember she's an ex, but I namwekaga kwa level ya friend. This is a friend. Until when I'm now categorizing like huyu ni friend, just like she was an ex, then tukakosana, and then we got over it, and now we are friends. So, like I said, and like I agree with you, we have to, of course, maintain our current relationships and marriages. Our exes should not have that much power, or besties, or whoever. And of course, relationships za kirafiki pia ni poa, men to men, women to women, women to men, men to women, as long as ni respectful na ziko na boundaries and everybody knows their place. So I thank you very much, Maroro, for your time. Hii ni Sunday when people want to rest. So thank you very much for giving us an hour and 5 minutes. I am very appreciative of everybody who joined, Vero, Sarah, and those people who did not comment but walikuwa na follow. Asanteni sana. Until next Sunday kwa session kama hii. If you want us to discuss about anything, unapost hapo kwa comment. Kama unajoin, unasikiza hii show na bado huja subscribe, like, share, comment. Hizo vitu zote. Asante sana Maroro, karibu Nairobi and have a safe trip back to Mombasano. Ukifika salimia bibi na watoto.
Asante sana, thank you.
Good.